Hi, Aquarius. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. My name is Leigh, and today we're going to take a look at what's going on with you and your person, okay? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there is a link in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. The overall energy for this week's reading is the Queen of Pentacles. This is an earth sign or someone with a lot of earth in their chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So I feel like this is just talking about, what it is you want. You want something stable, something committed, something grounded, something that's going to be long-term and stand the test of time when it comes to your love relationships, okay? Then we've got the Emperor. This is Aries energy. This represents your divine counterpart. This can also represent structure and discipline and, doing the right thing. This is like the fatherhood card. I feel like for some of you, this is someone with whom you want to have a family. Okay, and underneath this, we have the Page of Wands, fire sign or someone with a lot of fire in their chart, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I'm already picking up on two energies in this reading. Okay, I feel like this is the TF and the Emperor card. I feel like this is the new person. Okay, because your TF does not sit in this energy, the Emperor energy. Okay, they're nowhere near that right now. Okay, but the Page of Wands is talking about, being excited, curious, messages coming through and stuff like that. But I feel like this is representative of your person, okay, of your twin flame. And then underneath this, we have the Nine of Swords. I feel like you've been very worried about this connection, anxiety, sleepless nights, nightmares. Your person may sit in this energy as well, because remember, they're shoving it down. They're suppressing how they feel, okay? And this is somebody that's not very mature. They act very immaturely with this Page of Wands, okay? Like I said, they may have done all kinds of crazy things that you would never think to do, or that would even make sense to you, is what I feel like with this person, okay? I feel like this person is unlike anybody you've ever known, and I'm not saying that in a good way. I'm not saying that as a compliment. I feel like you have these feelings for this person, but I feel like a lot of times you step back and you're like, who the fuck is this? How am I able to attract someone like this? I feel like a lot of you have been trying your best to work on yourself, to better yourself, to better your situation. And I feel like this person coming into your life kind of like shattered some things, like you may have thought you were doing better than what you actually are, because this person is here. But we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk to you, Aquarius. You know that. Okay, but this situation was destined. This was supposed to happen between the two of you, okay? And then we've got the Tower here, Scorpio energy. This is talking about this foundation crashing down because it wasn't built on anything lasting. And with the Three of Cups, third party. When I see this card, third party, third party, third party. That's what I say, all right? Okay, so let's start by clarifying the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, we're gonna talk, Aquarius. I've been missing y'all. We got some talking to do today. Okay, so get comfy, sit back. We're gonna have a come to Jesus. We're gonna have a powwow. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, Aquarius. See, you're feeling very depressed at this moment because things are not working out at all the way you wanted them to. And for those of you that have been rocking with me for years, I feel like you're just fed up with the way things have been going, okay? But I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna talk about how to fix this, okay? Spirit is telling you to focus on your passion, focus on your creativity, take those feelings that you're feeling for this person and turn them around. Don't keep them focused on that person. Keep them focused on yourself and where you're trying to go. Take all that hurt and that pain and that depression and put it towards this, whatever it is your passion is. Like for me, this card would be reading cards. Okay, I love to read cards. I love to help people. I love to take the hardships that I've had and the things that I've learned and help other people so that they don't have to go through the things that I went through. So if somebody else can learn from what I went through, that to me is a blessing. Okay, so you gotta find out what this card represents for you and go towards that. Okay, let's pull the card for your person. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So your person is going through a lot of lessons right now. Okay. I feel like karma is kicking their asses. They, spirit has their foot on this person's neck. I mean, that's not what we like to think of when we talk about spirit. But what you got to realize about spirit is that they have sides just like everybody else does. And your spiritual team, I feel like, really has your back, and they don't like to see other people fucking with you. And so with this lesson card, I feel like this person is being taught a really good damn lesson. You may not hear everything about what's going on with them, but you're going to hear some stuff. You're going to catch some whiffs of what's really going on with them. Okay. And so they're seeing a lot of synchronicities. Like I said, this connection is divinely guided. So with the synchronicities card, they may be seeing repeating numbers. They may be seeing your name. They could be seeing your initials. They could be seeing all kinds of signs. Okay. All right. Hold on one second. Let me get one more card. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Poker face. Taking a chance, risks and options, not showing hand, gambling. So this person wants to take a risk to come towards you. They want to take a chance. But until they do that, or until they make that decision, I feel like they're keeping their cards close to their vest and not letting you know what is going on. But I'm sure whatever it is that you need to know in this reading, spirit is going to let you know. Okay. All right. Let me get one more card. Let me just get one more card, because I just want to know a little bit more about this. Queen of Pentacles, spirit. Okay. Yeah. See, all these things are coming up. Okay, so we've got the Ten of Cups, but it is reversed, and it's talking about a disconnected family. So some of you may have kids with this person. This is talking about an imbalance, some type of brokenness between the both of you, discord. This relationship is inauthentic because this person is not being who they truly are. They are wearing a mask, showing a mask. This is what they show to the world, because deep down inside, they have a false sense of security. They have as I've told you in the past, very massive self-worth issues. And so I feel like they lay in bed awake at night. This Nine of Swords card here, where is it? This Nine of Swords card here, I feel like they lay awake in bed at night, because I feel like they try to push all thoughts of you aside until at night, when they can't, there's nothing they can do. They can't run from it, right? Because you got to lay there and try to fall asleep. And I feel like they sit up and they wonder, like, why does Aquarius love me? Why does Aquarius want to be with me? Like, what is that about? So the fact that they're unable to pinpoint any positive qualities that they feel about themselves, they don't understand why you feel the way you feel for them. Okay. But like I said, it still don't make what they're doing right. It don't ever make that right. But this misalignment, this misalliance, it's just them, like, just not being, who they truly are. Because in a relationship, you have to show who you really are. You have to run the risk of somebody not wanting to be with you. But me, I don't know about you, Aquarius, but me, I would rather go ahead and tell the person how I feel, even though it's not easy, it's difficult, and have them, tell me the truth, either way it goes, than to be strung along wondering and worrying about this person and wondering how they truly feel about me, because that's a time waster, I feel like. Hold on. I keep looking at this right here. Let me get this. Hold on one second. Okay. Y'all ain't seen this in a long time. Those of y'all who've been watching me for years. I'm just being drawn to this for some reason. So let me pull out some stuff. Pull out some things. Okay, let's see. Let's see what's going on here. So we've got, balance. This is about, this person needing to balance themselves out. You need to balance yourself out as well, because I feel like this interaction you had with this person threw you out of balance. Okay. Then we've got guilty. Yeah, this person feels really guilty about the way that they treated you. And I feel like some of you feel guilty because you came toward this person and told them how you felt. Okay, I'm going to give you the same speech I gave Sagittarius yesterday. Okay, you are not to be feeling guilty, okay, for telling this person how you feel. Okay, I feel like you are of both of the twins, you're the one that's the more evolved twin. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you came forward to this person and told them how you felt. Okay. You have altruistic intentions. You wanted to have a relationship with this person. And I feel like they pretty much, like, tried to kill the messenger, or they tried to, like my dad always has this saying, no good deed ever goes unpunished. I feel like that's what I feel like how you feel about this. Like, you tried to open yourself up to this person, and they just pretty much, this is what spirit is giving me. I know it's a nasty thing, but this is what they're giving me. Like, you feel like this person spit on you. That's what I feel like. And I don't know about y'all, but that to me is like the worst. If you keep your bodily fluids to yourself, okay? I'm like, don't be doing no stuff like that. But I feel like figuratively, that's how you feel. That this person, like, you tried to do, come from the heart and be honest and be vulnerable, and I feel like you feel like this person punished you because of that. Okay. But you don't ever let anybody stop you from being who you are, Aquarius. Okay. Because like I said, it was a beautiful, beautiful thing for you to come towards this person, especially not knowing what you were going to get from them. Okay. It's a beautiful thing for you to tell somebody how you feel. Okay. Because even if they didn't receive it the way that you wanted them to, just because you told this person it, just because you're giving them the love to them, it doesn't mean that the love's going to come back from them. You're going to get the love back, but it's just it may not come back from this person. Okay. Because it just seems like they got a lot to do. Okay. They may have turned around, like I said, and ran away from you or walked away from you, but this is what spirit is telling you to do. Mirror what they're doing. If they're walking away from you, they're not fulfilling you emotionally, it's time for you to walk away, take your dignity, take your lesson from this situation, and move away, because this is a lesson. Okay. That's why this card is showing up. It's not just a lesson for them, it's a lesson for you too, to realize what an amazing person you are and what it is you truly deserve, because you don't deserve someone who would do that type of stuff to you. But you've got to have your come to Jesus moment and realize, okay, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve anybody treating me like this. If you're trying to get into something with somebody and you give into them, but they're not giving to you, it's time to walk away. It's time to walk away. Okay. You staying there and trying to reason with them and bargain with them and trying to figure it out. Because like I said, I did it too. I went and told them how I felt, and tried to see if I could reel them back in and all this kind of stuff. That mess don't work. Like I said, it's like no matter what you say to this person, the only thing they're going to understand is your fucking absence. That's the only thing they're going to understand. Okay. So this was on the top of the deck here, this Divine Love Oracle, and it says illumination. The path to be taken will be illuminated. So Spirit is telling you, go ahead, walk away from this person. Don't let them keep you in limbo, because that's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting you like that, where you're like a kind of like a sad puppy and you don't know where to go, because they want you to stay there so that when they're ready to come towards you and give to the situation, or when they're ready to step up to you and take from you, they want you to be standing there waiting on them. And I'm like, me, I'm like, fuck that, and fuck you, because we're not doing that. It ain't that type of party. Okay. So I'm not gonna stand there and preach no kind of shit like that to nobody, to do that, because they just like they shouldn't be expecting you to do that, you wouldn't be expecting them to do that. So like, what kind of crazy stuff is this? That's what I'm saying. This person has some really serious issues. They have some narcissistic tendencies. The things that they're saying and things that they're thinking, it's like they want you to be frozen in amber until they're ready to come thaw you out when they want something, and they want to be able to come in and out of the situation, and you just sit there, like I said, like a little lost puppy, and just allow them to come in and out of your life, as they feel, and use you, because that's what that is using you. It's not them wanting to come give you anything, unless it's the D or the P. They may want to come give you that because they getting something out of it. But other than that, this person does not have any good intentions when it comes towards you. It doesn't matter how much love they have. And you know what I tell you? If this person They can love you all day long, Aquarius. If they're not showing it, if they're not stepping up every day, if they're not choosing you every day, and they out in the streets fucking around with other people and stuff like that and putting your life potentially in danger, if you're having sex with this person, you don't want to be with nobody like that, Aquarius. You deserve way better than what they have to give. They have nothing to give. They're empty inside. Why do you think they running away? Because if they really was about you and wanted to be in this relationship, even if they were somebody who they felt like the two of you weren't on the same level, somebody that really wants to be with you is going to aspire to get better. They're going to use your connection and the love and the feelings they have for you to level themselves up until the both of you are on the same level. Okay, so the fact that they're wanting to go in and out, not give to the connection, and just come and throw you a what every now and then, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? That's what I'm saying. Some of these people, their thought processes is just crazy. It's the craziest shit I've ever heard. But I'm telling you this, and I'm being vulgar, and I'm dropping the F bombs and all the words because I'm trying to shake you. I'm trying to wake you up. You are better than this. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve to have anybody treat you like this. Okay? All right. So next card, I'm gonna get on our soapbox now. We're moving on to the next card. So the card that represents you this week is the Five of Cups. My heart goes out to you, Aquarius, because I've been here. I know what this feels like. You just feel like you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying, and people keep stepping on you. But I'm telling you, if you learn the lessons from this situation and you do what Spirit is asking you to do, your life will change for the better. You won't ever have to go through this kind of bullshit again, okay? But you have to learn how to love yourself and put yourself first and have that dignity within yourself to walk away. Because let me give you an example. I don't know if any of you watched my video that I put up about the Twin Flame Chronicles, not the first one, but the second one, the long one, because I go in depth about the Twin Flame connection. I don't just talk about my story. I talk about everything that happens in the Twin Flame connection and where you're heading. Okay. I go in depth about it. That's why it's so long. But anyway, when my person, well, they ain't my person no more, but when this person, the TF that's supposed, I guess that was assigned to me or whatever you want to say, whenever they started to breadcrumb me, I turned away. I said, you know what? They did it once, right? They left me on red. It was like a text message situation. They left me on red. The first night we started talking, we talked for like hours. Then all of a sudden, I had asked a question and it wasn't answered, right? So I was like, I tried to give them the BOD, the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, well, let's see. Maybe, people fall asleep, things happen, whatever. So the next morning, like at 5 a.m, I get a text message from them or whatever, but I leave my phone on do not disturb. So I didn't get the text message until I woke up, because that's something I do. That's a boundary I set. You're not allowed to wake me up with the phone. I answer you when I'm ready to talk to you. Okay, that's something I've set. That's something with the self-love. That's why I say you got to love on yourself, because you start to set these boundaries and you stand your ground when you love yourself. Okay, and I'm not saying that y'all don't love yourself. Love yourselves. I'm not saying that, but I'm just telling you just so you understand what's going on. But anyway, when I get the look at the text message, he apologizes for leaving me on red the night before, right? So I say, okay, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, and we're gonna move on because you apologize, right? So the next day, this same day, he did it again, right? He did it again. We talked for hours, and then he stopped and he did it again. And so I said, okay, that was when I was like, that's it. I said, because that for me is a big trigger. I don't like that, because I'm like, if I'm giving you my time and my effort, the least you can do, it's a text message. It's not like, we were having a date that lasted all day long or some shit like that, or I was asking you to, you know what I'm saying, to do something that was just going to completely take up your whole entire day. We supposed to be getting to know each other. And like I said in the text message, I'm not saying you can't go nowhere and live your life or whatever, but tell somebody, hey, I got some things I got to do. I'll catch up with you later. Let me know what the hell is going on. It's an appropriate way to handle people. Okay. But come to find out, this person knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They were trying to play games like this, I guess, like the for lack of a better example, like a pimp and a prostitute game, like you know, you trying to break me to get me to manipulate me to get me to do what it is you want me to do. And I'm like, bitch, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So that was the second time. And oh, let me say this. Let me go back and say this. When after the first time that I was left on red, I set a boundary. Okay, that next day after he apologized, I said, okay. I said, I just want to let you know, I'm not somebody that likes to play games. So I said, if you like to play games, then I'm not the person that you need to be dealing with, because that shit don't fly with me. And he's like, oh, no games here, no games here. I said, okay. I said, because I set the fucking boundary. And once I set the boundary and I let your ass know, after that, all bets are off. So like I said, we kept on talking. And then, like I said, he left me on red again. And I said, you know what? I don't have time for this bullshit. I don't have time for this bullshit, because somebody that wants to be with you, Aquarius, and really cares about you and really truly loves you, and is not only loves you, but is willing to put you first, you in the relationship first, is going to do what is necessary to keep it going. They're never going to put you in a situation, or never put themselves in a situation to where they could possibly lose you, right? So I'm saying all of this to say that, you know, I had to cut it out. I had to let it go, because the one thing you got to learn about this situation is that you got to love you more than you love any fucking body else on this earth. You got to love you first, because if your cup is empty, how are you able to give to anybody else? And then if you want discernment, you want to be able to see the red flags clearly, you want to be able to see what people are doing, you got to love yourself. You got to put yourself first. Okay. And it's hard, especially for women, because we are taught to give it all out, to give it all away to everybody else and leave nothing for us, leave our cup empty. And then we just deal with the fallout of that. And that's garbage. So this is about you putting yourself first and realizing that no, that type of shit don't fucking fly. Okay. So the card we have for you is spirituality. Okay. So I feel like, you know, you're trying to learn from this. You're trying to move on from it. I have to give y'all this. I have to give y'all kudos. Okay. I feel like you've been messed around and knocked around a lot, and you're still trying to be hopeful. Even though you're in this depressive energy, I still feel like you're still trying to keep hope alive. Okay. Because there are still cups here. Okay. Awaiting you. There's still opportunities awaiting you here, because this is a different Five of Cups card, because usually it's 3 cups you're looking at and it's 2 cups you're not looking at. But I feel like you have begun to make the shift. Okay. Because this 3 cups here, I feel like that's what happened in the past with you and the other person. And, you know, they were entertaining other people. That's why there are 3 cups here. Because remember, I just showed you the three of Cups card here. And I feel like you're starting to shift now towards these 2 cups that are here, which is the 2 of Cups, your next situation, you know, when you're ready for it, your next partner that's coming in, because there will be new love if you do what Spirit is telling you to do. Okay. All right. So let me get one more card. Yeah. See this shit. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Spirit is trying to tell you, you have another opportunity to be with somebody who's going to love you and treat you the way you deserve. But you got to learn this lesson, Aquarius. You have to learn to put yourself first, because this lesson is going to need to go with you into all your other relationships when you step into something with somebody else. You have to take that with you. Okay. All right. So this is, you know, this is a partnership, a soul contract, a life partner. For those of you that, like I said, didn't watch my video, I talk about at the end how once I learned my lesson, Spirit cut the soul. It's like I went to sleep one night, right? I remember I was in the store and I just was feeling down. I was like, I was out working and I was like, oh, I just started feeling bad. You know, that longing feeling, that burning feeling where you just want to be with your person and you just all upset for no reason or whatever. And I remember I was just like, you know what? I need to stop what I'm doing and I just got to go home. So I remember I came home, and that night I remember I was just so upset. And I remember that night was when Spirit, like, was one of the first times Spirit had been telling me about the new person, but I really wasn't like trying to hear it, because I still have feelings for this person. You know, I'm the type of person, one person at a time. Everybody else might be different, but that's me. So they were telling me about this person, and I kind of started to kind of listen to what they were saying. And I remember I kind of was getting a little excited. I said, okay, so finally somebody who's gonna come and treat me right. And but then in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking about this motherfucker. I'm still thinking about this motherfucker. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to. And I remember telling Spirit, I don't want to bring somebody else into this situation if I'm still feeling something for this other person, something that this other person don't deserve. And I remember that night I fell asleep. And when I woke up the next morning, there had been a big shift while I was asleep. I had gone from that burning, that longing, that painful feeling to waking up free. It was like they had severed whatever soul contract me and the TF had, the twin flame. They got rid of it, and they got, it's like I got a new soul contract with the soulmate now. Okay, because I can feel it. So I'm saying all of this to say that if you do what Spirit is telling you to do, if you take the lesson, put yourself first, move forward, and keep moving forward, and show Spirit that you have the intent to leave this motherfucker alone for good, they're gonna come. There's gonna come a time where you're gonna have your other options show up, okay? And then you can figure out, if you don't want to be with anybody else, you don't have to be with this person, but they're gonna disconnect you from this person, okay, and move you on to somebody else, or allow you to make the decision on what it is you want to do. But what you have to remember is, when this twin flame comes back to you, they're going to come back to you because they're going to feel you pulling away your energy. And when they do that, you're going to have to, have some type of conversation with them, because Spirit wants you to show that you've learned the lesson. So you're going to have a conversation with them and let them know, and under no circumstances you don't want to be with them anymore. Because why would you want to be with somebody who breadcrumbs you? Why would you want to be with somebody who doesn't give a fuck about you or your feelings? Why would you want to be with somebody who wants you to just stand there like you're not even a human being, and just be available for them whenever they want to come around, and, like I said, throw you some D or throw you some P? What kind of crap is that? What kind of thought process is that? Like I said, that's like really narcissistic thinking. And I'm not a psychologist, but hell, I know enough to know when some shit is wrong, and that is utterly and entirely wrong. So you got to think about this. You got to keep telling yourself this when you feeling them feelings and that love and all that. Like I said, it's your soul. It's your soul calling you back to it. It is not this person. It may seem like the longing is out there, or you want that person's love or whatever, but you deserve to have somebody that's going to invest just like you invest. Okay? All right, let's move on. Next card represents your person, Ten of Wands. So they're starting to feel like this is a burden. Like I said, I feel like for a lot of you, this person came in just wanting to have a good time with you, and you know what I mean, an intimate good time, okay? And it was a situation where something went wrong, or even if you did have intimate times with them, it didn't last. It didn't pan out the way that they wanted it to. And so now they thought they were going to walk away from you, and that was going to be the end of it. But then when they walked away, they realized they got feelings, okay? And that it wasn't going to be as easy as they were thinking it was going to be, okay? Because I feel like this person may have done this to a lot of different people. You may be dealing with a full-fledged player, is what I feel like, okay? All right, so this person is starting to look at spirituality as well. They're starting to Spirit is trying to, lead them to the fact that they need to balance themselves out. And, deep down inside, they want to communicate with you, all right? Let me clarify. Ten of Wands. See, look. Engagement ring. It says higher commitment, eternity, partnership and union, completion. Okay, it's almost like they're stuck in some type of, I don't know, crazy ass energy, crazy ass loop. It's like we're both sides of the connection are playing out this shit, and you just got to be strong, Aquarius, and walk away from this person. Because what kind of commitment can somebody who's done all these things to you, who's made you feel like you mean nothing to them, and like no matter what you say or no matter what you do, they just gonna keep running and keep doing whatever the hell they doing. I mean, like, you know what I'm telling you, what is the point? Why would you want to be with somebody like that? You know, like for me, the whole situation left a bad taste in my mouth. Everybody's different, you know? And like I said, I've forgiven my person. I've wholeheartedly forgiven them. That's why I can talk to y'all about this and not get upset, you know? But I still have no desire to be with this person. This person could come back to me today and just be a completely changed person and be saying all the things I want them to say and backing it up with action. And I just still don't want to be with them. But like I said, everybody has their choice, because I feel like there are certain lines. Okay, this is about boundaries. Again, there are certain lines that I feel like once you cross them, even if even though I've forgiven you, and I'm not holding any grudges against you or anything like that, or thinking badly about you, I have no desire. You can never be in my world again. And that's part of self-love, because once you really, really love yourself, let me just tell you like this, Aquarius. In this life, in this stuff that we're going through with this twin flame, you gotta be willing to cut people out of your life if that's what you have to do. Okay? Because I feel like for a lot of you, I'm getting that thing Spirit shows me sometimes, that like there's this movie I watched, I think it was Anaconda, where the people fell in the river or something and they got out of the river. I don't know if it was that movie, it was another movie where there was a river, people fell in the water, they got out of the water, and it was leeches all on them, leeches all over their body, and they had to like cut them off. And I feel like that's what's been going on with you, that you've been, trying to be right, trying to do right by people, and they just been siphoning your fucking energy. That's what I feel like. And I feel like that is a thing that needs to be corrected, okay? Because you deserve to have somebody that's going to give to you just like you give to them. And if it's anything less than that, you got to be okay. You got to be okay with deciding that this is not what I want. You have to clear out space, for all these motherfuckers that are mistreating you, so you can have space to bring in the people that are supposed to be here, because there's somebody knocking at your door. They want to be with you. This is somebody that wants to give like you give, that wants to give you commitment, that wants to give you the type of relationship you want to have. But Aquarius, you have to understand that you deserve it. You have to love yourself enough to know that this kind of shit here is unfucking acceptable. Okay? All right, so we're going to move on. The next card we're going to take a look at is the energy between the two of you. We've got the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, look, let me say this. I'm only halfway through this reading, and your reading is already longer than every other damn reading I've done this week. All the other 10 readings I've done so far, your shit's the longest. But I love to talk to y'all, because y'all listen, y'all try to apply the lessons, and I love that about y'all. That's why I'll talk to y'all. I'll sit here and talk to y'all for an hour. I'll talk to you all day long. But anyway, the Six of Cups is the energy between the both of you. This is talking about, a past life connection. Okay. For some of you, this person could be somebody from, this lifetime. It doesn't have to be another lifetime. It could be both. They could be, could have been in your life in the past and now. And then also with the Six of Cups, it can talk about, like a childhood sweetheart or someone that's from the area where you grew up. Okay. Let's clarify. Like I said, it's a soul connection. This is a soulmate connection as well, because like I said, the two of you are, from the same soul family. Okay, so we've got for you, there's some secrets going on. You may have just shut yourself down and not, you're not allowing this person. Let me see what Spirit is going to say this is. What secret, Spirit? Okay, so Spirit is telling you to open your heart. Okay, it could be a thing where you may have shut yourself down because of what happened with this person, and I get it, because I did the same thing. But that's why the element of forgiveness comes in, because you got to let this old person, this TF, you got to let them, kick them out of your energy, so that you can open yourself up to this new love, because this is what you deserve, Aquarius. You deserve somebody who's going to have your back, and this person, this is the one that you want. This is the one that you've been dreaming of. Okay. All right. Let me pull for your person. Six of Cups. Okay. Yeah. See, they're going through a period of chaos. Their shit's all fucked up. They don't even have the bandwidth. Even if they had the intention of coming towards you to have an actual relationship and to actually invest, they don't have the bandwidth to do it, okay? Because their whole life is all fucked up with this chaos card, okay? All right, let me get one more. 6 cups. So we've got, see, the chaser. It says fear of abandonment, chasing, codependency. So this is something you got to break, Aquarius, okay? Don't chase this person anymore. You gotta focus on yourself and move off in the other direction, okay? Like I said, mirror their energy. If they're turning away from you, you turn away from their asses. If they don't contact you, you don't contact them. I know it's not easy. It's easier said than done, but you have to put yourself and your needs first, okay? Because you got to clear out your energy for this person to come in, because until you can get to a certain level and bring this down and get to forgiveness, you're going to be blocking this person from coming in, okay? All right. Okay, so the outcome card we have is the 6 of Wands. So you are headed towards success, okay? You are headed towards your dream lover. That's why this soulmate card is showing up, because Spirit is telling you that you have the potential to have it all, but you got to learn this lesson first, okay? This is the last lesson. This is the last hurdle before you're able to step into your season of rewards, I'll call it, okay? Your season of where you're going to get rewarded. So like there are a lot of rewards on the other side of this, but you got to get past it first. That's why it's an uphill. You feel like it's an uphill battle and it's so difficult, but look at what's on the other side. Okay, you got a new love coming in. You're going to be happy. You're going to be focusing on all your creative endeavors. It's going to be a beautiful life, Aquarius. And I know right now it don't feel like that, but if you keep trying and don't give up, you will get there. Spirit is not asking for you to be, 100% perfect in going through this situation, because we're human beings. You have times where you backslide. Hell, I had times where I backslid as well. But you have to be determined. You got to be determined to not let this motherfucker break you down, because that's what this person is trying to do. Like I've told you in past videos, it's like this person, you showed up and you were the whole package, the thing that they actually wanted, the thing that they wished for. And it's like they got it now. And when they saw you, it's like a deer in headlights. Like they didn't know what to do, because some people wish for things, but in the back of their mind, they never think they're ever going to get it. And I feel like you showed up as a wish come true. And this person, they're like, oh God. And I feel like it's because it's the self-worth issues, because on some level, they feel like they're not worthy of you. They know that the two of you are not on the same level. You know that as well. You know that as well, that you're like here and they're here. And I'm not trying to look down on anybody, but when you and someone is, you and someone else are on the same level, and when they're not, that. Okay. All right. So for your person, they've got neglect wounds. So they have abandonment issues. Your person has a lot of issues, a lot of things that have broken inside of them because of things that have happened to them in the past. Okay, so this is talking about them struggling to let things go, because I feel like a lot of them are holding grudges against you because you walked away, because you turned away from them and you took your energy away, and they had nothing to siphon off of. See, and I feel like out of all the energy that they tasted, your energy was the best, because you're their twin. And so they're going to come towards you. Let me tell you this. Let me give you this damn warning. I warn you about this all the time, because I want you to be aware, okay? When this person shows up and you start to move towards them and you completely are distancing yourself from this other person, they are going to come towards you, Aquarius, like this, and want to tell you how they love you, and oh, let me explain to you what happened, why I treated you like shit, and I feel bad and all this shit. But it's self-serving. It's not because they really want you back. It's because they want you to stay stuck in your head and to stay there and wait. Like I told you, the reasoning behind it is self-serving, is to serve them. They want you to continue to stay stuck right there while they go play around with whoever the hell they want to play around with. And when they feel like they want to throw you some attention, like I said, throw you some D or throw you some P, they want to come towards you and do that. That's all this is about. Okay, it's like this person, they feel like you are their possession. They want to control you. They want to feel like your entire happiness rests on them, and whether they're in your life or part of your life or not. like that. When they leave, your happiness goes with them. And that's crazy. Think about that. This person wants to give to you. They want to add to your life. They want to help you level up, help you get to wherever it is that they want to, that you want to go. This person wants to have a healthy, interdependent relationship where the two of you intertwine your lives together. Okay? This person just wants to treat you like you something there on the side whenever they feel like they want to deal with it, or whenever they don't, because they're sitting in that ego energy and sitting in that narcissistic energy, that egoic energy and the prideful energy, and that's what they're wanting. They're just wanting you to be there for whenever they feel like they want to deal with you, because this person thrives off of attention, and when you turned away from them, you took the very thing that they live for, is attention. So I don't know if they didn't get enough attention when they were a child. I don't know what the hell went on with them, but they got some serious wounds that need to be healed, and you don't have time, because a lot of you are older. You're the older person in the connection, okay? Because like I told you, there's a 30-year age gap between me and this person. And I remember the first time I found out, I was mad, because I was like, what the fuck I was supposed to do with somebody who got 30, I got 30 years on, because we in completely different areas of our lives. Like because I remember when I was in my 20s, I was running around, hanging out with my friends, having a good time, all this kind of stuff. So I wasn't thinking about being in no relationship with nobody and settling down and having kids. I wasn't thinking about no stuff like that. That's why I said it's kind of crazy, this whole situation, this whole thing, because I don't know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy because it's just some things that are just, it just like takes you fully out of your comfort zone, is what I feel like. Okay. And so you gotta put yourself first, Aquarius, because ain't nobody thinking about this motherfucker over here. Ain't nobody thinking about their asses. Okay. Male or female. And so we can see partying. This is what this person does. Partying, time with friends, having fun, happily single, living in the moment. And so this is where you need to be. Okay? Is in this energy. Enjoying your life, living your life to the fullest. And when you get to this energy, I swear to God, this is when this damn person is gonna come back and be trying to tell you all this stuff. So remember what I'm telling you. Spirit is trying to warn you that this person is gonna come back, and I'm telling you, but listen to your intuition. Always listen to your intuition, because when I think about that person coming back, my intuition is screaming at me, don't do it. Say no. And Spirit is like, when I'm dealing the cards, because I read for myself too. When I'm dealing the cards, all the cards are flipping over. No, 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 no. Or they all reversed. For them to warning me. Don't you are that you are to talk to this person to let them know what happened, and you are to distinctly tell them, make sure they understand that your answer is no. You don't want to be with their asses anymore. Okay? All right. So let me get some messages from Spirit, and then we'll get some messages from your person and move forward. Okay. So we've got judgment. A final decision will be made that will bring finality to the current situation. Okay. Okay. Let's get some messages of love. This whole twin flame thing is just so crazy. I swear. It's just crazy. So we've got an apology. You can expect the apology you want to hear, but remember, they're giving to get. They're giving to get. They're giving this apology because they want to keep you stuck. They want you to believe. They're trying to show you a little light at the end of the tunnel to get you to believe. Oh, they changed. They want to come back. They want to be with me. This and this, that bullshit. Okay. And then we've got, look, this is the question Spirit is asking you to ask yourself. Integrity. Does this situation align with your values and morals? So you need to ask the hard questions. Are you still out there in them streets? Are you dealing with, with these third parties? You still messing around with other people? Because I'm telling you, if they getting angry and getting upset by the things you asking, they doing some shit they ain't got no business doing. Okay. And then we've got time apart. Some distance will help bring clarity. Okay. All right. Let's get some messages from your person before I let you go. But like I said, Aquarius, I know y'all, y'all are hurting right now. My heart goes out to you. I'm here for y'all. I'm reading for y'all, me and Spirit. And your spiritual teams, we're trying to help you to get through this, because I know it's not easy. I know this is not easy. Okay, see? So this person is telling you they're not available. And I feel like this is not just saying they're not available in like third party. They're also not available emotionally. They're emotionally unavailable. Okay? We need to let each other go. And I feel like that is what needs to happen. And then I left you before you could leave me. All right? So this person, I feel like I said, deep down inside, I told you they question themselves and they're like, why does Aquarius love me? Why does Aquarius want to be with me? They're asking themselves these questions. So if they don't believe they're worthy of anything, how are they going to be able to give to you? See, look at the bottom of the damn deck. I just happened to pick the damn deck up. I didn't even know it was at the bottom. So like I said, I'm saying all this stuff to say, Aquarius, you are a beautiful human being. You mean well. It was an amazing thing for you to go and tell that person how you felt. Okay? Even if you feel ashamed, even if you feel humiliated at what happened, like I said, please know that this person is going to get their karma. And when they get it, it's going to be horrible. Okay? Because like my person, I found out they lost their job. There was some kind of the third party they were in with somebody, like they being berated and disrespected by this person on a regular basis. They say that all the people that are around them got turned, have turned away from them. Nobody wants to deal with them anymore. It's like they're left out in the cold, not only by me, but by everybody around them. So it's like it's so much stuff I've heard about what's going on with this person till I feel bad. And I feel like I'm the injured party in the situation, Well, I don't feel like that anymore because I've forgiven them, but you know what I mean? I feel like I was the one that was trying to be there when they was just doing whatever the hell they want. I feel like I was the one that had the right intentions. Let me say that. And so I'm just like, even I started to feel some kind of way. And so for those of you that want to question, like I said, I'm on y'all side because I've been through this, like I said, 2 times. Because like I said, if you want to know why I say 2 times, you got to go and watch that video, the Twin Flame Chronicles. But like I said, you can get through this, Aquarius. Okay, it may seem like the hardest thing you've ever had to do because that's what it felt like with me. But you got to tell yourself, just like I told myself, I said, you may hurt my feelings because you can't get past people hurting you in this world. Because if you're gonna open yourself up to people, there's always that chance that you may get hurt. And a lot of times it's not even intentional. People are just doing the best they can, and sometimes you get your toes stepped on when they're moving about their world the way that they do. But if it's somebody that really cares about you and you address the situation, 9 times out of 10, people are going to try to fix it and make it right. Okay, it's just this person here you dealing with, this motherfucker that's all out for self. Everybody's not like that. Okay, but you can get through this, Aquarius. Okay, just be determined that this person is not going to break you down. Or be determined to build yourself back up and know that you've learned this lesson and you're never going to let anybody do this to you again, ever. Okay? I love y'all. I love you with all my heart. Y'all know y'all one of my favorite signs to read for. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. Please have a good day and a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, Aquarius.